Good morning, park runners. Saturday again. This week I'm off to Sandall Park Run. It's actually my home park run, and Sandall Park Run is in Doncaster. It's where I started park running back in 2014, and the park run started in 2013 there. It's not actually my closest park run. Since then, Cusworth Hall and Frickley have started up. But I still consider it my home park run. I think I've done just over 80 park runs there, so I'll set off now and get there. Should only take 15 minutes and we'll catch up later. So this is Sandall Park on the right. There's actually a few places to park. This is the car park which is near the finish, and it's also where everybody meets. And as we just pull in here, you can see that little building in front. That's where the toilets are, and the defib is on there, the other side. There's also a little coffee shop in the background, and there's a car park on the other side of there. You can also park on the other side of the park on the road, and car parking is free in these car parks, and also free on the road surrounding the park. As you come into this car park, there is actually this pedestrian walkway, and they do ask you not to park on this side. There is this car park, it does get quite full, and there's the one on the other side of the building in the distance. But as I said, on the other side of the park there's actually a long road you can park on there, and there's nearly all those spaces on there when I've left after the park run. So this is I call it the boating lake, because there used to be, just here on the right, you could hire rowing boats on here many years ago, but they've long since gone. So this is the lake. This is in the park. It's a beautiful park. You run around the lake and then round the other side of the park. It's 2 laps. When I first came here, it used to be 3 laps, 4 laps in winter when it was muddy. The grass does get very muddy here, but over the years the course has changed, just 2 laps, and it's much nicer. So today at Sandall Park, it's event number 394. The first event was on the 28th of September 2013, and it had 165 park runners and 9 volunteers. It now averages over 200 park runners and around 25 volunteers. As I said before I set off, it's my home park run, and I've done more than 80 runs here. Cusworth Hall and Frickley are actually my nearest 2. Both of those have steep hills as well if you're thinking of going there. So this is actually part of the course, and this is the finish area. The course actually starts on the other side of the park over there, and it begins with a 500-metre stretch of tarmac around the lake. You pass the finish on your right hand side, and the finish is on this bit just here. And from this point it's 2 laps of the park, and it's a mixture of tarmac and grass, and parts of the grass in winter get very, very muddy and wet. And that's part of the reason why I actually started touring. I decided when it got to the first winter and it got really muddy, I was going to start doing a bit of touring and find a few parkrun courses that had got more tarmac than mud on them. A few stats about Sandall Park Run. It's had 9,286 finishes, 71,407 finishes in total. That's people counting every time that they've run here. It gets an average of 182 per week, and there's been a total of 606 volunteers, over 12,000 PBs. The average finishing time is 29:53. The female record is 17 minutes 18 seconds. That was set in September 21, and the male record is 16 minutes and 9 seconds, set in 2019 in April. The age grade record for men was actually set last week at 88.5%, and that was by Paul Lane in time under 18 minutes. Paul is actually a member of Dana Mary's running club, which is the running club that I run for as well. And this is another park run that has geese as well. And I have seen runners at the front, and they do move out of the way, the geese. I think they've got used to park run now on a Saturday morning. So as you can see now from where we are now, the course is, I mean, I would call it flat compared to others, but it is undulating. There are a few little inclines. As you can see, we're higher up now than where we are when we run round the lake at points, but it's certainly not what you'd call hills, just slightly undulating in parts. So I actually drove here this morning, but you can get here by bus from the Doncaster interchange, which is next to the railway station. The buses that come here are the 67, 76, 83, 84, 85, 87 and 88. And you go into Sandall Park and it takes about 15 minutes. If you brought your bike, there is actually from the railway station, it's a cycle path all the way, and it's around 3 miles. So this is the finish behind. You can see there's lots of volunteers, probably 25 plus volunteers today. I helped today and just did event setup, putting some of the cones and ribbons around the course. If you want to volunteer, you could either just turn up and speak to the run director on the day. You can go on the parkrun page for the parkrun, the Sandall parkrun, under the volunteer tab. There's an email address you can email on there, or you can also do it from your parkrun profile page, and you can opt in for emails. And one useful thing I found was, as well as opting in for volunteer emails, you'll also get emailed, I believe, if the parkrun is cancelled as well. So I've heard many stories each week of where parkruns are cancelled, and people have said that people still turn up for it because they had no idea or didn't know where to look to see if it had been cancelled. So from the finish, everyone's going to walk around the lake to the start.
We all know what we're doing, so just follow our directions and you'll be fine. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, lovely. Well, thank you for joining us and enjoy it.
Thank you.
And while we're at it, can we please say a massive thank you to our amazing team of volunteers today who make this event possible. So we've got some pretty cool milestones today. We've got Shelley. Where are you, Shelley? You're celebrating your 50th park run today. And we also have Anne Scott, who is celebrating her 100th park run today. Well done, ladies. Okay, we'll get going in a second. So it is the usual course. We're doing 2 full laps today. When you cross the finish line, take your token. Please don't cross the finish line more than once. If you cross the finish line, please take your token, no matter if you've got your barcode or not. Children under 11, please keep them with us on lead. Dogs to be kept on lead. We have lots of marshals out there today, and we've got access to a defibrillator. If you get into any problems while you're out and about, please just let a marshal know, and we can get some help to you. So enjoy the run, look after each other. 3, 2, 1, go!
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well done, tail walkers.
Cheers, you alright, Andrew?
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Pardon, father. Thank you. Well done. Yeah, you too. Great running.
That's a free country. I really want to go.
Higher. Thanks. Well done, Jim. Well done, Ben. Thank you.
Well done, man.
And you.
Excellent, sorted.
Thank you.
But yeah, finishing talking.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, I might get one of them. Yeah.
Legs are going like that. There you go, sweetheart.
Oh, so mate.
Tokens are straight after you finish,
Thank you,
and then they're scanning barcodes at the end of the funnel as they keep losing barcodes each week.
Come on, Phil.
Well done, Peter.
Yes, right, all right.
See behind me now, there's lots of park runs finished now. Today that was my 224th park run, still on 102 locations because I came back to Sandall, which is my home park run. So if you enjoy my videos, please like or subscribe for a new video each week of a new park run, and hope to help. I should go over to the coffee shop now and have a look at that. So when you've come through the finish funnel, if you just continue straight up the path, the coffee shop is on the right.